day? I whispered, shaking Hugh awake. Is it finally Christmas? Oh, Olaf, it's not even bright outside yet, my friend replied. But is it Christmas? Yes, it's Christmas. Hooray! I screamed at the top of my voice. Get up, Hugh. We have so much to do today. Hugh promised me that for my very first Christmas, he would cook the perfect Christmas feast. There was going to be roast turkey with roast potatoes and gravy, carrots and Brussels sprouts that looked like tiny cabbages, and for dessert, mince pies, rich Christmas pudding, and to my delight, a Yule log. No, not the real oak log that we Vikings burned throughout the Yule celebration, but a delicious cake that was shaped like a log. I could not wait. While I waited for Hugh to get up, I sat in the sleigh that shone brightly over the castle and watched the people rushing about on the streets below. There was a family in Santa hats and a tall man carrying a tower of gifts, and an old woman in a long orange scarf. I watched her for a while. She was the only person not rushing to get anywhere, just strolling along the river. All right, Olaf, said Hugh, joining me on the sleigh. Let's get ready. I was given the task of peeling the vegetables as Hugh prepared the stuffing and placed the turkey in a roasting pan. Have you ever cooked a turkey? I asked, looking at Hugh, who was busy stuffing an enormous bird into the oven. Of course I did, replied my friend. Just wait a few hours, it is going to be a masterpiece. Once the food was cooking, we decided to set the table up at the battlements so we could enjoy the town's Christmas lights. We even brought one of the artificial trees up and carefully placed the presents underneath it. After the mix-up with Secret Santa, Hugh and I agreed to exchange presents we made ourselves. As the church clock struck 2, our feast was ready. We put the perfectly looking golden turkey on a platter alongside the vegetables and cranberry sauce and placed it in the center of the table. Next to it was a plate piled high with mince pies, and on the opposite side of the table was the trifle topped with cream. As we sat down to dinner, I remembered about the Yule log that was still in the kitchen. Hugh, we forgot the pudding and my cake. Can you help me bring them up? Hugh put down the carving knife and led the way. In less than 2 minutes, we were climbing back the steps, carrying the missing desserts and humming Christmas carols. As we reached the top, we froze in utter terror. We were being robbed. Our beautiful turkey was being carried away by the biggest seagull I have ever seen. 2 more winged thieves were busy pecking at the pies, and as for the trifle, it was now a creamy mess under the table. Our perfect Christmas was ruined. I will have my vengeance, I screamed at the villains and grabbed my axe. I watched them fly away towards Burgess Park and decided to give chase. I ran across the bridge, planning my revenge. Prepare to take the place of the bird you stole. When I reached the park, with Hugh a few steps behind me, I stopped and looked around. On the grass in front of us was a flock of over 30 mean-looking seagulls. Well, it will be rather difficult to find the culprit, Hugh stated. What will we eat now? I said, defeated.
Don't you worry, dear,
I heard a voice from behind. It was the old lady in the orange scarf. She was sitting at the bench holding a bag of seeds. But the birds eat our food. Those gulls ruined my first ever Christmas, I screamed.
Oh, dear, that is unfortunate. But I'm sure we can try and make it right for you,
she said with a smile. That's right, Olaf. We still have the cake, Hugh piped in.
Would you like to join me for dinner?
The old lady said.
I didn't get a turkey, as I was going to spend the day on my own, but there should be enough to feed the 3 of us.
That is so kind of you, Mom, replied Hugh. We would be honored,
You can call me Maggie,
said the woman. We followed Maggie to a house that was actually just next to the castle. As our host was heating up a pot of soup, we looked about the place. It was filled with photographs of Maggie and her family, all smiling and happy. I don't understand, I whispered to Hugh. Why isn't she spending Christmas with her family?
My dear husband is no longer with me, and the children went to live in America,
she said, walking into the room.
They couldn't make it home this holiday season. It was going to be my first Christmas alone.
Then I am glad we have met, said Hugh. No one should be alone for Christmas. As I was helping setting the table, Hugh disappeared. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang. On the other side of the door stood Hugh wearing a Santa hat. He had our Yule log and the Christmas pudding with him, as well as the few neatly wrapped gifts. Ho, 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 he said. I think it's time to begin our Christmas feast. As the first star appeared on the evening sky, Maggie, Hugh and I sat down to dinner. Instead of the turkey, we ate the simple food so readily offered by our new friend. It tasted better than the most elaborate dish ever would. We spent the evening laughing and singing carols, telling stories and playing games. You know something, I said, as we were getting ready to say our goodbyes. I think I understand what Christmas is about. It's not really about the Christmas tree or the presents or even the Scrumptious Feast. It's about love and kindness. This was the best first Christmas I possibly could have had because I got to share it with friends.